Good morning, class. Last week, diniscuss natin ang tungkol sa bank reconciliation statement. Ano nga ba ang bank reconciliation statement? Ito ay ang statement na nagsisiguro na ang iyong cash book balance at bank statement balance ay pareho. Kasi nangyayari na hindi talaga nagkakaroon ng pagkakapareho yan or yung tinatawag nating may discrepancy sila. Ngayon, kinakailangan natin i-reconcile para walang difference. Okay? Kagaya ng nakikita nyo dito sa larawan, no, paano ba ang ginagawa para ang discrepancy between the cash book balance at bank statement ay pareho. So, ngayon ay tatalakayin natin at i-analyze yung epekto ng pagre-reconcile ng mga tinatawag nating reconciling items. Ano-ano nga ba yung mga reconciling items na yan? Nung nakaraan ay binanggit na natin itong mga reconciling items na ito, kagaya ng credit memo, debit memo, yung mga outstanding checks, yung deposits in transit. So ngayon ay tingnan natin sila isa-isa in more detail para mas lalo nating maunawaan. So, when a current or checking account is opened by the depositor, a monthly statement is being sent by the bank to the said depositor showing the amounts of deposits, withdrawals, bank charges if any, and the running amount balance of the account. The statement is called bank statement and is usually sent after the end of each month. So, kada katapusan ng buwan, pinapadala ng bangko ang bank statement sa depositor. The amount balance shown in the bank statement is basically the same amount of cash balance in the cash in bank account in the book of the depositor. This is because whenever cash is received by the depositor, it is deposited to the bank and the bank records its deposit. Whenever cash payment is made by the depositor and the cash is presented to the bank for encashment, the bank effects reduction of the deposit. So, ang pinapakita raw ng bank statement ay ang parehong amount na maipapakita ninyo sa inyong cash in bank account. No? Meron tayong account title na cash in bank sa balance sheet. So, dapat pareho sila na pinapakita. By standard or SOP, dapat ang mga cash collections ng kumpanya ay diretso sa bangko. Dinideposit dapat yan. Instances wherein the records kept by the depositor will not coincide with the records kept by the bank on a specific date is always possible because of either or both of the following. Una, delay in either party in recording transactions or time lags. Nagkakaroon ng delay. Kahit sino, no? Hindi agad na i-record. Pangalawa, errors by either party in recording transactions. So, dalawa lang naman. Una ay hindi na i-record agad. Pangalawa ay nagkakaroon ng pagkakamali sa recording. Most commonly, there is a time lag between the date the check is issued and the date that is presented to the bank for encashment or payment. It is also probable that a time lag between the date of the deposit and the date that it is recorded by the bank will occur. Time lag, ibig sabihin, no? Sabi nga natin kanina, hindi agad na i-record yung doon sa panig ng bangko. Mamaya malalaman natin paano nangyayari yon at paano magiging solusyon dyan. The bank may debit or credit the depositor's account for transactions which the depositor will not be informed until later. Examples are service or collection fees charged by the bank and the proceeds of notes receivable sent to the bank for collection. May mga kinokolekta at kine-credit na yung bangko, dinadagdag sa iyong account na hindi pa alam ng depositor. Yun yung mga tinatawag nating credit memo. At meron din namang mga ibinabawas. No? Yun naman ay tinatawag nating mga debit memos. The discrepancies in both records must be looked into or reconciled with the identified reconciling items. Ano-ano ba itong reconciling items na ito? At the end of every month, comparison between the cash book balance of the depositor and the bank statement received from the bank will bring forth the following reconciling items. Una, yung mga book reconciling items. Pag sinabi nating book reconciling items, ito yung mga ginawa ng bangko na hindi ginawa ng bookkeeper, ng accountant, ng kumpanya. Kaya dapat niyang gawin. So meron tayong credit memos at debit memos at saka errors. Pangalawa naman ay ang bank reconciling items. Ano naman ang bank reconciling items? Ito naman ay yung ginawa ng bookkeeper, ng accountant sa books ng kumpanya na hindi pa ginagawa ng nasa bangko o ng bangko. Kagaya ng deposit in transit, outstanding checks at saka errors. Kung mapapansin ninyo sa dalawang items, parehong may error. Bakit? Kasi, lahat naman tayo ay pwede magkamali. No? Lahat o parehong party ay prone sa pagkakamali din. Kaya, merong ina-adjust kung sino man ang nagkamali. Ang credit memos, these are items not representing deposits credited by the bank to the account of the depositor but not yet recorded by the depositor as cash receipts. Ito raw yung mga deposits dinagdag sa account ng depositor ng bangko. Okay, dinagdag ng bangko for the account of the depositor pero hindi pa raw recorded sa books or doon sa tinatawag nating cash in bank account sa book ng kumpanya or ng bookkeeper. Credit memos reflect additions for such items. Dagdag. Ayan, additions na. Such as notes collected for the depositor by the bank and wire transfers of fund from another bank in which the company sends funds to the home office bank. Ano ang effect ng credit memo? It increases the bank balance. Kung maaalala nyo guys, no? Sabi ko dati, pagdating sa bangko, baliktad ito doon sa iniisip natin pagdating doon sa debit at credit ng balance sheet. Hindi ba dati, pagka debit, ibig sabihin idadagdag natin. Pagka credit, ibig sabihin ibabawas natin. Pagka naman sa bangko o bangko ang pinag-uusapan natin, yung credit, ibig sabihin ay idadagdag at ang debit ay ibabawas. So examples ng credit memos ay notes receivable collected by the bank in favor of the depositor and credited to the account of the depositor. Binibigyan mo ng parang powers o kaya ay binibigyan mo ng permiso yung bangko na mangolekta mula sa iyong mga kliyente tapos i-deposit na nila sa account mo. Yun yung mga receivables, no? Pangalawa, proceeds of bank loan credited to the account of the depositor. Kapag ikaw ay nag-loan sa bangko tapos na-approve ka na at ito na, i-deposit na o ibibigay na ng bangko sa'yo yung loan mo, yun, i-deposit na lang sa account mo yun. credit memo. Pangatlo, matured time deposits transferred by the bank to the current account of the depositor. Meron kang time deposit, natapos na yung sabihin natin 3 weeks or 3 months. Wala, sabihin natin 1 year, no? Na term ng iyong time deposit. Pag na dumating na yon, ita-transfer na lang ng banko yon sa iyong current account. Debit memos, items not representing checks paid by the bank, which are charged or debited by the bank to the account of the depositor but not yet recorded by the depositor as cash disbursements. Ito namang debit memo, sabihin nga natin, kabawasan ito, no? Ito ay mga items na binayaran mo pero hindi naman ito yung mga cheque na inisyu mo. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka nagbayad sa pamamagitan ng check pero binawasan yung iyong kaperahan sa iyong bangko. Tapos ito ay hindi pa recorded sa iyong books of accounts doon sa iyong cash in bank na account title, no? Hindi pa siya nagre-reflect doon. Debit memos reflect deductions for such items as service charges, NSF checks, safe deposit box rental, and notes paid by the bank for the depositor. So ano ang effect ng debit memo? Decreasing the bank balance. Ibabawas iyan sa iyong pera sa bangko. So ano examples ng debit memos? Unang-una yung NSF or no sufficient fund checks. No, ito yung mga tumalbog na cheque as we have discussed last time. Tumalbog, in-issue, tapos in-endorse sa bangko. Nung ita-transfer na nung bangko yung pera mula doon sa nag-issue papunta sa yung account, natagpuan ni bangko, na-realize ni bangko na walang pondo yung cheque. Kaya NSF, talbog. Or the if, drawn against insufficient funds. Now, these are checks deposited but returned by the bank due to insufficiency of funds. Technically defective checks. Ano ba yung mga technically defective checks? Halimbawa ay walang pirma. O kaya naman may erasure pero hindi na countersign. Okay, ano pa? Mutilated checks. Ano yung mutilated checks? For example ay punit yung cheque. Halimbawa hinati, hati. Yan, hindi i-honor ng bangko yan unless ma-verify naman sa'yo. Conflict between words and figures. Okay, doon sa amount. No, hindi nagkakapareho ang figure at ang word. Halimbawa, 100 pesos. Tapos yung nakalagay sa figure ay 101 pesos. O, di ba? Hindi sila pareho. Pangatlo ay ang bank service charge. These include bank charges for interest, collection, checkbook, and penalty. Siyempre, guys, ang mga bangko ay may mga service charges. At dyan sila kumikita kasi. Kaya iyan ay dinideduct na lang sa iyong, mula sa iyong pera sa bangko. Reduction of loan pertains to amount deducted from the current account of the depositor in payment for loan which the depositor owes to the bank and which has already matured. May kailangan kang bayaran na loan, dideduct na lang ni bangko mula sa iyong deposit. Book errors, a common error by the depositor is recording a check in the accounting records or cash book at an amount that differs from the actual amount. So halimbawa, 1,500 ang amount sa cheque. Tapos na i-record mo ng 5,100. So yun yung tinatawag nating errors. Wala raw definite na patakaran dito. Basta, kung sino ang nagkamali, ay siya ang magko-correct o mag-a-adjust. Kung idadagdag o ibabawas, walang definite rule. Ang importante ay ma-analyze ninyong maigi para alam niyo kung i-deduct ba ito or idadagdag. Deposit in transit. These are collections already recorded by the depositor as cash receipts but not yet reflected on the bank statement. The most common deposits in transit are cash receipts deposited on the last business day of the month. These are cash on hand awaiting delivery to the bank for deposit. Since deposit in transit have already been recorded in the company's books as cash receipts, they must be added to the bank statement balance. Ano ang deposit in transit? Ayan in transit, paparating pa lang sa bangko. Kaya, hindi pa ito na i-record ng bangko, pero sa books mo, na i-record mo na siya. Bakit hindi pa na i-record ng bangko? Kasi, hapon na. Yun lang yun. Okay, nagkataon na Friday, halimbawa, ang last day of the month or last working day of the month. Tapos, may pera pa sa iyong kaha, sa iyong office, ng hapon na, sarado na si bangko, kailangan yan i-deposit. So, deposit in transit. Maire-record ng bangko yan, maybe Monday na, or first business day of the succeeding month. Yan, deposit in transit. Examples of deposit in transit: collections already forwarded to the bank for deposit but too late to appear in the bank statement. Undeposited collections or those still in the hands of the depositor. Outstanding checks. These are checks already recorded by the depositor as cash disbursements. Kung yung deposit in transit ay collection, ito naman ay disbursement but not yet reflected on the bank statement. This will cause the bank statement balance to overstate. Ano ba yung overstate? Kasi siyempre, binawas mo na yan sa iyong books, pero sa bangko hindi pa. So, lalabas na mas malaki yung amount ng nasa bank records or nasa bank statement. Kaya overstated. Okay? Overstate to the company's actual cash balance. Since outstanding checks have already been recorded in the company's books as cash disbursements, they must be subtracted from the bank statement balance. Ibabawas mo siya ngayon, yung outstanding checks. Examples ng outstanding checks: checks drawn and already given to pays but not yet presented for payment. Ito nga yung sinasabi natin, di ba? Nagbigay na ng cheque bilang kabayaran si Juan kay Pedro, pero si Pedro hindi pa rin ini-endorse sa bangko yung cheque. Yan ang outstanding checks. Certified checks. A certified check is one where the bank has stamped on its face the word accepted or certified, indicating sufficiency of funds. So when the bank certifies a check, the account of the depositor is immediately debited or charged to ensure the eventual payment of the check. It carries a guarantee from the bank that the recipient will receive the full face value of the check from the issuing person's or company's bank account. So, ayan ang dalawa, no? Dalawang example ng outstanding check. Yung checks already given, tapos ang certified checks. Bank errors. So, hindi lang ang accountant or bookkeeper ang nagkakamali sa side ng kumpanya. Pati rin naman yung mga nasa bangko ay pwede rin naman magkamali. So sabi nga natin, kung sino ang nagkamali, siya ang magko-correct. Kung parehong may mali, pareho sila magko-correct. So dito na tayo sa example. Analyzing the effects of reconciling items. Ito na yung actual na transactions. XYZ company is closing its books and must prepare a bank reconciliation for the following items. Una, bank statement contains an ending balance of 300,000 on October 31, 2020, whereas the company's general ledger or yung account title ng cash in bank shows an ending balance of 263,500. Second one, bank statement contains 100 pesos service charge for operating the account. The third one, bank statement contains interest income of 3,000 pesos. The fourth one, XYZ issued checks of 50,000 that have not been cleared by the bank. Yan yung mga transactions ha. Number 5, XYZ deposited 20,000 but this did not appear on the bank statement. Number 6, a check for the amount of 4,700 issued to the office supplier was misreported in the cash payments journal as 3,700. A notes receivable of 9,800 was collected by the bank at yung pang-8, a check of 5,200 deposited by the company has been charged back as NSF. So, yan yung mga transactions. Ang susunod ay tingnan natin ano ang ginawang reconciliation. Ano yung mga hakbang. Okay, tingnan nyo itong table 1 na to. Dito pinakita, no? So, yung unang column, ito yung items. Pangalawa, ito yung amount. Dito pinapakita yung amount. Pangatlo, yung effects. At pang-apat, yung adjustment sa books. So, una, no, ay yung 300,000, dapat ay ipakita natin ang balance. Pansinin ninyo, 300,000 ending bank balance. Tapos, meron ding ending book balance. Nakita nyo? Ending bank balance na 300,000 at meron ding ending book balance na 263,500. Meron ding, after nating ilagay yung mga items, kung dagdag, bawas, makikita nyo yung adjusted bank balance na 270,000 at meron ding adjusted book balance na 270,000. Ang aim kasi nitong type of reconciliation bank reconciliation statement ay pagparehohin ang magkaibang figure ng dalawa pero hindi exclusive or absolute na masusunod si bangko, hindi rin absolute na masusunod si book balance or si books ng kumpanya. So, dito pinapakita pareho silang nag-a-adjust hanggang sa mag-meet ang kanilang figures. Kung ano-ano itong mga to, puntahan natin ang paliwanag, explanation. So, yung una, no, nakita natin yung 300,000 tapos may less uncleared checks. Outstanding check yan, no, na hindi pa nakiklear ng bangko. Ano ang paliwanag dyan? The adjusted balance method means that the book balance and the bank balance are adjusted to equal the correct cash balance. Yun yung nakita kanina na pareho na yung amount nila. Uncleared checks or outstanding checks are deducted from the bank balance to correct the bank amount because the checks are not yet paid by the bank. Adjustment per book journal entry is not necessary. Okay? Hindi kailangan. So, tingnan nyo. Ang effect niya, deduction from the balance per bank statement. Sa gagawin ng accountant, sa kanyang book, wala. Uncleared check siya, sabi ko nga kanina, na issue na ito, pero hindi pa nakiklear doon sa account ng pay, hindi pa siya na-deposit. Diba? Kasi hindi pa nakiklear. Kaya, ang gagawin ay ibabawas yan sa account ng depositor. Kasi hindi pa na ibabawas yan doon sa account ng depositor as of the bank statement date. Deposit in transit is added to the bank balance to correct the understated bank balance because the deposit is not yet recorded by the bank. Adjustment per book is not necessary. So sabi nga natin, deposit in transit, hindi pa ito nag-a-appear doon sa bank statement kasi paparating pa lang sa bangko. Kaya ang effect ay idadagdag sa balance per bank statement. Credit memos are added to the bank or to the book balance to correct the understated cash book balance due to unrecorded interest income and notes receivable of the company. So, credit memos, idinagdag sa pera mo sa bangko. Examples nito yung interest income at saka notes receivable. Ang effect, dagdag, addition to the balance per book. Ang entry dito sa yung books ay debit cash, credit interest income doon sa interest. Sa receivable naman, debit cash, credit mo yung notes receivable. So, tandaan ulit natin, class. Yung mga credit memos ay ginawa ng bangko sa kanilang end pero hindi pa nagagawa sa iyong end. Binagdag ng bangko sa iyong pera sa bangko sa kanila pero hindi mo pa na-re-record sa iyong libro as karagdagan. Debit memos, kabaliktaran. Binawas na ng bangko sa iyong pera sa kanila na nakadeposit pero hindi mo pa na-re-record sa iyong books. Examples nito ay ang service charge at saka non-sufficient funds na cheque. Sa service charge, ano ang entry natin dyan? Debit expense mo and credit mo yung cash. Sa non-sufficient fund, ano ang entry natin dito as adjustment? I-debit mo yung accounts receivable at i-credit mo yung cash. Book error. The 1,000 amount difference in check payment is considered as a reconciling item on the part of the company or the one who committed the error. Hence, it is deducted to the book balance to correct the understated payment. So, ending book balance, the 263,500, ibawas natin yung error on check with a difference of 1,000. So, deduction to the balance per book of XYZ. Ang entry natin dito ay debit expense at credit cash. Hanggang dyan ang ating discussion tungkol sa bank reconciliation at kung paano ginagawa at ina-analyze ang epekto ng reconciling items sa iyong bank statement para ma-prepare mo yung bank statement ng tama at maging pareho na ang kanilang balanse. So, ang ating question of the week, in preparing the October 31 bank reconciliation, ABC Company provided the following data. Balance per bank statement of 3,800,000, deposit in transit of 520,000, amount erroneously credited by the bank to entity's account 40,000, bank service charge for the current month 5,000, at outstanding checks na 675,000. Ang unang tanong, what is the adjusted cash in bank? Adjusted ang tinatanong dito, ha? Pangalawang tanong, what is the unadjusted cash in bank balance per book? Unadjusted ang tinatanong dito. So, class, yung mga sagot ninyo ay ilagay sa comment section. Class, itong bank statement na ito kailangan lang na balik-balikan nyo itong topic nito. Basahin, i-analyze, para lalo ninyong maintindihan ang patungkol sa bank statement. Enjoy ang topic nito, guys. Lalo kapag kayo ay accountant na, kayo na ang bookkeeper, kayo ang gagawa nito. Enjoy yan, guys. Enjoy. So, kailangan lang yung credit memos, yung debit memos, deposit in transit, outstanding checks. Alam ninyo ang nature nila at alam ninyo kung papaano i-handle ang mga ito sa ating accounting system. So hanggang sa muli, class. See you ulit next week. Good morning.